Hello, dear users of JDisc Discovery. This is our third video on JDisc Discovery WebUI. This time we're looking on the main function, reporting of discovered devices, and all the usability and the comfort that comes with the new WebUI. Welcome to the JDisc YouTube channel. In the last video, we were looking at how to schedule and start a discovery job. And when that is done, we have all the resources in the JDisc Discovery object model collected. So this contains information about devices, users, the software installed on these devices, the network that connects these devices, virtualization, such as virtual machines or containers, also cloud resources, and you also can see custom reports. Remember that currently the WebUI only is for viewing information mainly, so for reporting. So in order to create custom reports, you still have to use the FAT client, the current one. But of course, you look at the reports much more often than you create them. You only do that once, right? So the reporting interface for custom reports and the other ways to view information is of course important, right? And all of these areas that you have in the object model is something that you can see in the reporting UI, and that's what we want to look at today. So these are the things that we will look at in the reporting UI today. How to navigate the reports in using the breadcrumbs, how to do sorting, paging, filtering in the tables, how you work with the tables regarding the columns or reordering and resizing columns, searching for information, how to use the selection and multi-selection, to use the actions, the various actions that there are, the menus, the drill down actions. We will revisit the context-sensitive online help, and I will show you how usability is much better than in the old UI by persisting the settings per user and table type. So then let's get started and dive in the real-life demo. So here I'm back pretty small in the corner so that you have enough space to see stuff. So as you see, I've logged in already and we're here in the dashboard. And remember that we have here the capability to resize items, to move them around as we want it, so that we can define the dashboard as we want it. I'll make it a little bit larger for you so that we can better read it. Black style, of course, so that it's cool. I've minimized the troubleshooting section here, so because we don't need that at the moment. As you can see, we have the different topics of objects that are being discovered by JDisc Discovery, right? So devices, software that's running on these devices, the users that make use of the devices, the networking, and virtualization and cloud resources, as well as the custom reports. So these are our main tiles here that we can use. And as in the classical FAT client UI, you find the same items here, not just only as a menu, but as easy navigatable items that you can just click on. So if we click, for example, here on devices, you get a table with all the devices in here, and you see on top that you can have different types like IP devices, host names, computer accounts. What you normally had in a menu, here you have it as like tabs. If you go to reporting up here, you return to the dashboard. And let's say we go by devices by type, for example, then you can see the devices by type, by manufacturer, by role, by version, so the different tables that you're familiar with. If you use the home button, instead you come to the home page, and then we would, for example, go back here to the reporting tab correspondingly. And the same way applies for software. So you have the applications, you see here the tables that you used to, applications with paths. You see it's pretty quick, even with large tables, there's this quick scrolling, it's easy to use. And for example, networks, let's look for example at ports, etc. Right, so always the same type of tables. So let's look at some basic tables, and we use the basic device table to show you that. As you're used, you have here a search field at the top. And if we, for example, search for JDisc, we type it correctly, right? You see that you get quickly a table with all devices that have JDisc in the name or somewhere else. You can either delete it here or use this delete icon and you get back to the normal list. We could also have a case sensitive filtering and say JDisc and only find those that are written upper lowercase correspondingly. Remove that, get all of them again. So that's quite as expected, of course. If we have such a table, you see that if you go here, you can sort on it. Let's, for example, sort on the type. Click on it once again. You sort ascending or descending correspondingly. So now we see here that we have two columns without values, at least in this sorting. So here on the right-hand side, we can hide some of those columns. Right? And we can also, let's say, if we are more interested in the serial number, we could move that to the front. So this is the way that you can, for example, reshuffle the columns, hide them, etc. Of course, we could also decide to add them again as well, manually. So here at the top, you see this help icon, which is already active, and this shows you the context-sensitive online help. As we change the reports, you see that the text changes and stays. If you click on the icon once again, it was hidden, or you can also close it here as well. Now, when we have customized such a table, in Preferences, Table Settings, we can reset all the tables to the default. So if you go back to Devices, you see that the original order of the columns and all 30 of them are displayed now. By the way, one last basic remark. At the bottom here you see like a count, for example, total devices 209. So that's the basic functions of the tables. So let's shortly look at selection. Let's scroll down a bit. If you click on a row, it gets selected. Well, as you expect. If you hold the Shift key, you can select the whole range of rows. If you use the Control key, you could add single independent rows, as you would expect. Of course, if you click another row, your previous selections get lost. Of course, on the macOS, you have to use the Shift and the Command key correspondingly. If you select some items, at the bottom you see how many you have selected. So when you have such a line, such a device, we can press the right mouse button or two fingers on the touchpad on the laptop, and you get the menu, right? So you see you can here do runners discovery, manage the accounts, look at compare devices, look at define custom attributes. All the menus that you're used to are available here with submenus. Or when you have a selection, you can also use this burger menu on the top here, and you get the same menu running on the selections that you have in the table currently. If we double click on a line, let's take this Dell tower here, for example, we usually get the details of this object. If we go to, for example, devices by type, right, and here we click on Dell, then we get a table because this was a group, right? So if you click on a group, of course you get the content of this group. That's logical. So let's choose another table. Here we have, for example, the application. Now let's do some changes. Reorder something, hide some column back here. Now, if we go somewhere else, Like we go to reporting, we go to devices, we do something here, and then we go back to our table application instances. And you see it's exactly as it was before. Even if I log out and log in again, you will see that this table setup is the same as before, because all the settings that you do, so sorting, column selection, column shuffling, etc., is really stored on the server side, so that the next time the same user logs in, he gets the same view again. So that's convenience, right? Of course, if you're a different user, then you would see another or your own setup or the default setup correspondingly. So finally, custom reports. Remember, custom reports can only be created in the FAT client. So here we have the reports. Let's make that a little bit taller. And you see here is one custom report defined at the moment. There are groups where you can put them in, and you can also have a list, a flat list of all the reports, which of course is not so nice. Now when we want to run it, we simply click on it, double click on it, and we will get the report displayed as a table, just as in the other views, reporting views as well. Well, here's our report, and we have all the functions as in the other tables as well. So that was the reporting function of the new JDisc WebUI. I hope you liked it. If you have questions, please contact us via one of the methods listed at the end. And don't forget to leave us a like and a subscription for these channels so that you get new videos that are coming soon. Thank you very much, and bye.